From having two of the best players in the league to winning so many games, the Golden State Warriors are one of the most unstoppable teams in the NBA. So there's no doubt that their coach is super happy, but he wants them to be better. Steve Kerr would love for them to play like the Miami Heat. Warriors fans are one of the most resilient ones out there. Their team always comes oh so close to winning, and then they don't. So they have a pretty hard time with it. In any other league in the country, the head coach of the current champion team would be thrilled with what the Heat have done. Kerr has said some harsh things about the Lakers, who were playing without LeBron James after his team lost to them. So we know that he doesn't hold anything back. In close games, the Heat are pretty impressive, with a score of 23-17.
Nets ahead by 4, despite Brooklyn shooting 61%. Here he comes! Oh, another poster for Bam Adebayo!
While the Warriors are only 14-16, instead of being the 9th seed in the Western Conference, where they are now, the Warriors would be in a better position to make the playoffs if they played like they're playing now. The team is just upset. They've lost some close games, and the players are upset that they haven't been able to win their last two and get some momentum. The coach's words help put things into perspective, especially since he's trying to lead a team with so many strong-headed players. So it's a good example of why the Heat will take a win no matter what. They've won 3 straight games and are 7 games above 500 before playing the Denver Nuggets. All they care about is winning. They want to make routines that work and play games to the best of their abilities. It looks like it's working, but their opponents did give them a run for the win.
Tyler coming off, the high pick and roll game's been good. Both players stay with Tyler, and that allows Bam to be able to have that free run to the rim. I love how look at his feet as he cocks the ball back there.
The Warriors coach praised his team for their fierce competitiveness. The Golden State Warriors beat the Miami Heat by a score of 118-104. They beat the best team in the Eastern Conference, even though they were playing on the second night of a back-to-back and they were missing several key players. The coach claimed that they were doing so well because the team never backs down. They focus on their veterans. The young Dubs always step up, and this game was no different. The team played very hard all night, which helped them keep up with one of the best teams in the league.
That would have been something. He's trying to get a little bit fancy. Steph from way outside puts it in a 3.
The players listened to their coach, and they were far more competitive and physical than they have ever been. In this last game, he saw the team give the best defense ever. They had lost to the worst team in the East and then beat the best team in the East. So the players were super happy too. They performed brilliantly.
For Boston. How's it going in Curry? Long distance Curry. Hits the 3 at the buzzer. Steph Curry ends the first in dramatic fashion.
Jordan Poole led the team with 30 points, and Jonathan Kuminga was the best player, if you don't count fouls. In the first few minutes of the third quarter, Andrew Wiggins scored 8 straight points, which helped start their winning run. When Gary Payton and Damian Lee came off the bench, their defense and offense were just what the team needed. Since 7 Warriors couldn't play because they were hurt, it took the entire team banding together to get that win. The Miami Heat star Jimmy Butler got into a fight with his team's head coach, Eric Spoelstra. This was one of the most interesting parts of the game. The win ended a 3-game winning streak for the Thunder and made the Warriors record 48-25. The team is still 2 games behind the Memphis Grizzlies, with less than 10 games left in the regular season. The good news is that they're now 3 games ahead of the Utah Jazz. When they play the Atlanta Hawks next, the Warriors will get back to their road trip. It seems like they're doing great, but something still isn't right.
When the Warriors have to switch, Steph was on him there. Look at the little stop on a dime as he's driving to his left. Terrence Mann.
Their numbers in the clutch aren't that great. We know that the team always wins the closest games. That's mostly because they're not as good as they used to be. This season, they haven't done very well when it counts. Don't get me wrong, they're not bad by any means. Most statistics put them in the middle of the pack, and their record in clutch games is 5-5. But when the game was on the line, they didn't shoot enough and made some major mistakes. First, we all saw Draymond Green's shot from the half court against San Antonio with only 7 seconds left.
He could get 3 free throws maybe, but DeJounte Murray denied Steph the ball. Good play by Derek White.
This happened because their coach made a bad choice about the play. They have lost games before because of his bad decisions. This week, they lost a close game because at the end of the shot clock, they doubled Luka Doncic. This move gave Max Kleber the chance to win the game and put it out of reach. It makes sense that a young team like the Golden State Warriors has had some trouble finishing games this season. Don't stress out too much about this though.
How they play, you understand your role in this team, you will succeed and you will fit in just like any other starter.
Curry, the three!
Even though they have two of the best players in the NBA, we know what their problem is. The team is full of rookies and second-year players. Kelly Oubre and Andrew Wiggins need to learn a lot about winning. They have never played in a place where they could win. Even players like Damian Lee and Juan Toscano Anderson, who have been in the NBA for a few years, are still finding their way. Curry has the most late-game points on the team. Well, duh, but most of those shots were ridiculously hard. Only Lee is close enough to be a threat, but he is 3 for 4 in big moments, including a shot that beat the buzzer against Chicago.
Looney with the dribble handoff, a little brush screen, and D. Lee for three.
He made Satoransky pay for going under. Satoransky actually recovered
from 10 down.
The Warriors' shaky play is due to Oubre, Wiggins, and Green, who have a combined 8 for 26 from the field. The Warriors will need Curry's help if they want to start winning games in the last few minutes. This is likely to happen as time goes on, and the team learns more about these problems. The Dubs need to look at their recent losses as lessons and keep on working to improve. But there is one big problem that the team hasn't addressed: Jordan Poole's clutch play in the Warriors' win. Coming back to their close win against the Memphis Grizzlies, Poole showed both his best and his worst sides. He made a great move to go under the basket on Dante DiVincenzo's inbound pass and score the game-winning layup as the time was running out.
DiVincenzo to inbound. DiVincenzo finds Poole. He lays it in. 1.3 to go.
At the end of the game, the 23-year-old had 21 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, and made 8 of 14 shots. He was the best in the league with a plus 15. His heroics in the last seconds made up for some of the mistakes he made earlier. But when Curry called for the ball with just over a minute left and the Warriors were up by 2 points, Poole took the pass well past the three-point line and decided to shoot. He missed. He should have passed it to the NBA's reigning MVP. Naturally, during a defensive restart, Curry threw his mouthpiece and slumped his shoulders in frustration. He got a technical foul, which led to him being kicked out of the game.
Steph Curry throws his mouthpiece, so he's going to get ejected from the game. Anytime that he's done that, they always get rid of him.
So it's safe to say that fans are super duper pissed at Poole. Not only for missing the shot though, they blame him for getting Curry kicked out of the game too. With all their problems laid out in front of them, the team has to decide how they're going to move forward with this. That's all we have for Golden State coach Steve Kerr, wanting his team to be like the Miami Heat. We'll see you in the next one.